It is time to relax into meditation. Sit comfortably in your seat. Maybe put your feet flat on the floor. Hands open to God. Close your eyes. Take a deep cleansing breath. Release. Take another deep breath. Move down into your heart space. Angels. What are they? What do they look like? Ethereal beings with gauzy robes and wings. What is their purpose? I've learned that angels help us to grow if we are awake and aware and open to their guidance. They help us to be the best we can be. Angels teach us patience, to be kinder, to love, and to serve. I am grateful for the angels in my life. They've appeared in all shapes and sizes throughout different times in my life. Two of my earliest angels were my grandmother and my Auntie Theo. They taught me about love and to trust in a higher power. Special friends, Patricia B., Luz, Jan, and Susan P. are angels in my life who continually teach me to love unconditionally. Thank you, dear friends. Even Henry, a cat, who showed up out of the blue on our doorstep, taught me to love and care for strangers. That dear furry fellow cracked open my heart in such a big way. I miss Henry to this day. Who are the angels in your life? Who helps you on your spiritual path in your daily living? Think about who those angels are. Think about how they've helped you, encouraged you, lifted you up, held you. Take a moment to silently thank those angels and send a heartfelt blessing their way. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for your angels in our lives who teach us how to love and serve. We are all angels in each other's lives. What a blessing. So it is, and thank you. Namaste.
I was walking home from school on a cold winter day. Took a shortcut through the woods and I lost my way. It was getting late and I was scared and alone. But then a kind old man took my hand and led me home. Mama couldn't see him, oh, but he was standing there. And I knew in my heart he was the answer to my prayer.
I believe there are angels among us. Let's say that together. I believe there are angels among us. When I told Paula a while back that I wanted to do a talk about angels, she said, well, I'm a little surprised. I don't know that you've ever mentioned them before. I was surprised too, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go with it and see where it leads. Was that an angel guiding me? Sure. What do angels look like to you? Paula touched on it so beautifully. Oh boy, it made me cry a couple of times. Yeah. There are as many different concepts of angels as there are people in this room. What do angels look like to you? Go ahead and say. Just say it out loud.
Dog.
You?
Bird. Okay. I love it. Are there guiding angels in your life?
Sure.
Are there angels that watch over you?
For sure.
Are you an angel in someone else's life? Are there animal angels in your life, like Henry?
Yes.
Sure there are. In a lot of ways, I think of angels as God speaking from within. Subtle, quiet guidance, the still small voice. Sometimes it's more like a 2x4 upside the head, if you've noticed. Angels are there. Angels are around us and within us. So let me share 3 stories about angels, okay? It's 3 stories, and the third one is in 3 parts. Very mystical. All right. The first story. A couple of months ago, Paula and I invited some old friends to come over for lunch. We hadn't seen them in a while, and so we had a simple lunch. It was sandwiches and fruit and a cinnamon bun. It was one of those, it was a ring. You know the kind I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. And we had a wonderful time with our friends. You know, we chatted and we ate this lunch and we ate that cinnamon bun, all but one little chunk that was about that big. And we were getting on toward the end of lunch, and that chunk of pastry was just kind of sitting there. Yeah. I was thinking, boy, I could eat that. I could finish it, but it would be such an uncool thing to do. Now, I wouldn't swear to it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the other folks around the table were kind of thinking that too, kind of eyeing that. But nobody made a move. Nobody made a move, and we just chatted a little more, and it was getting on toward the end of our time for lunch, and they were going to go. And one of our guests, I'm sure she didn't think about it. It was just her arm moving by itself. No. She reached out with her knife, and she deftly cut that cinnamon piece into 4 little chunks. We each had one. All right? I believe that was an angel guiding her. And there was a bit of a sigh of relief around the table, all right? Okay, that worked out all right. She was serving, she was showing love through her hands. Sometimes God moves through our hands. I don't know that her mind was involved. I think she just did it because she was guided to do it. I believe there are angels among us together. I believe there are angels among us. All right, second story. Paula and I were in Frederick, Maryland. I had played music at the Unity Church in Frederick, Maryland that morning. It was early Sunday afternoon, and for reasons that I can't even remember at this point, must have had something to do with scheduling, we had to be back in Orlando by Monday morning. Okay, so we decided we're going to go for it. We're going to get in the car, and we're going to get on I-95 and drive south until we're home. It's not the hardest drive anybody ever made, but it wasn't that easy either. But we did it. We started off, drove through the afternoon, drove through the early evening, drove into the night. Now it's getting dark. We're driving and driving and driving. I was driving at one point. Paula was asleep in the passenger seat there, and it was time to stop for gas. So I found a likely exit, got off, got gas, got back on the highway, and continued on. I think she was still asleep, you know, pretty much. You know how it is on a trip like that. You're sort of, you know, in between. So I was driving along, and suddenly I started realizing, wow, those signs are kind of cool. There were these signs that said, "Visit Pedro's south of the border." You just jumped ahead of me, didn't you? And then it started to dawn on me, hey, should those signs be on the right? Oh, no. Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever been going the wrong way in your life and received some guidance that told you time to turn around? Well, she was still asleep as far as I knew. My plan was, it didn't work. It didn't work. I tried to turn around. And, yeah, we can laugh about it now, but I was most surely going north. And so, if you've ever prayed, God, please give me a sign, there it is. I believe there are angels among us together. I believe there are angels among us. All right, the third story is in 3 parts. There's a young woman. She's minding her own business when an angel appears in her room. And the angel says to her, you are going to have a child, and that child is going to change the world. Now this is a surprise to her. She's never been with a man, and she doesn't know what in the world is going on here, but the angel says, trust. Trust. Your faith is strong. Trust that this is the right thing. And so she does. Now this young woman is betrothed to a young man. Her name is Mary, as you've no doubt divined. Good word. Her fiance is named Joseph. He's a carpenter. He's a fine fellow. And a little later, a few months later, it becomes apparent that she's going to have a baby. Now Joseph is not too happy about this. He jumps to the same conclusion that most of us would. But one night, what happens? But an angel appears to him. And the angel says, trust. Trust. The right thing is happening here. It's bigger than you can see, but trust. Your faith is strong. And so Joseph, in his love and in his trust and in his faith in God, goes with it. He rises higher. He rises higher. Now the third part of this story is not in the Bible. It's more of a legend, and it's from several hundred years later. It's a kind of a mystical story, one of those stories that didn't really happen, probably, but it still holds a great truth. In this story, Mary is asleep when the angel appears, and when she becomes aware of the angel's presence in her room, she wakes up. She awakens. And the angel invites her to climb up to the roof of the house to hear this news that he has for her. And this symbolizes the idea that Mary awakens and she is willing to rise in consciousness to a higher understanding, to a higher level of trust, to a higher level of surrender. She trusted. She answered the call. Now, we can each choose to live at that level of trust and faith in a heightened, awakened state of mind all the time. And why is that? Because there are angels among us. We are always being guided upward. It's up to us to listen. Sometimes it's a still, small voice. Sometimes it's a sign by the side of the road. The guidance is always there if we're willing to listen for it.
Yeah.
I believe there are angels among us. Together.
I believe there are angels among us.
Now look around this room and see and feel, touch if you like, all the angels that are right here. Let's feel that. Let that wash over us. Let the love wash over us. Feels like being home, doesn't it? Home in your own heart. Here in the mountains, it's starting to get cold. We may have some snow soon, maybe a little, maybe a lot. And we will enjoy the warmth of hearth and home, the love and the quiet of the world around us, commercial Christmas notwithstanding. We will love being in our homes. Think about your home. Your home is a holy place. Your home may be modest. Your home may be a palace. It may be that you don't have a home right now. You do have a home in the heart of God. A holy home in the heart of God. It is your God's center. It is your source. It is your truth. So go ahead. Let's get a little quiet now and feel like it feels like to be in that home. Feel what it feels like to be home. Totally in touch with God. Totally knowing your source. You are quiet. You are still. You are listening deeply in that serene silence that you feel in the depths of your soul when the snow is softly falling. The sky is clear and bright with stars. And that peaceful blanket of quiet leaves room for you to listen, to hear, to just be. And now in the calm, you can hear the still small voice of God, and it takes the form of an inner knowing, of a guidance. It's always there. And as you listen, you can hear your angels, God's little winged messengers, singing softly to you. Do you hear what I hear?
Do you hear what I hear?
Do you see what I see?
Do you see what I see?
Do you know what I know?
Do you know what I know?
And so go deeper into that quiet space, even deeper, and listen now to this beautiful poem by James Dillard Freeman. I am there. Do you need me? I am there. You cannot see me, yet I am the light that you see by. You cannot hear me, yet I speak through your voice. You cannot feel me, yet I am the power at work in your hands. Only in absolute stillness beyond the self can you know me as I am, and then but as a feeling. Yet I am there, yet I hear, yet I answer. When you need me, I am there. Even when you are most alone, I am there. Even in your fears, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I am in you, and you are in me. Though you may not see the good, good is there, because I am there. I am oneness. I am the love that you can cling to. I am your assurance. I am your peace. I am one with you. I am, because I know you, because I love you. Beloved, I am there. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. Do you feel it today? I think we're going to have to learn that song and sing it pretty soon. Yeah. All right. One more story and we'll take this home. This is a story about a man who was frustrated and unhappy with his life. Actually, he had a pretty good life. You know, he had a family who loved him. He had a business that actually served his community. But he was restless. He was frustrated. He wanted more. He wanted action and adventure. He was bored, and he just wanted to go. He wanted something more than what he had. He couldn't see what he had. Not really. And his frustration grew, and it boiled over a couple of times. And at one point in his life, he had a financial catastrophe that was going to hurt not only him, but everybody else in his little town. And he was so unhappy and distraught that he was ready to end his own life. Fortunately, he met an angel. And the angel said, "No, don't jump off that bridge. Here's a vision of what the world around you would have been like if you had never been born." And he saw that vision of the world around him if he had never been born. And you know, the world was darker. It was less happy. There was less love, less light in that world. Because he had made, just in his simple life, he had made a huge difference. A huge difference. And so he saw it, and he understood it, and he said, I want to live. I want to live. I'm not going to... Thank you, Clarence. Clarence was the angel. He was an apprentice angel, actually. He hadn't gotten his wings yet. I want to live. Let's go home. So he went home. He reunited with his family. His family and friends were all there. The financial crisis resolved itself, and so they were having a big, happy party. It was Christmas time, and he appreciated the love that was around him and the wonderful life that he already had. At one point, somebody came to the door, rang the doorbell, and it was the sound of a bell. And the man's little daughter, her name was Zuzu, said, "You know, Daddy, my teacher says that when you hear the sound of a bell, it means that an angel has just gotten his wings." Thank you, Clarence. Thank you, God. I believe there are angels among us. How about you?
Yes.
Say it a couple more times while I walk back over.
I believe there are angels among us. I believe there are angels among us.
Okay. All good, all the time. We are in a sea of love, a sea of God's stuff. We live, move, breathe, and have our being in it. Everything is holy now. And when I was a boy each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. And he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. And everything is holy now. Oh, when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about that time Jesus split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still, and now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Everything is holy now. 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 Your regular stand up. Everything is holy now. 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 Yeah. Everything is holy now. 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 I believe there are angels among us. Say it with me one more time. I believe there are angels among us.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mike. Thank you so much. This is